how did you get the kids to actually listen to you, Mom? I mean, did you ever spank them?
Oh
Or
yeah.
yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know that you don't use, a lot of people don't use spankings nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
timeouts, but we always believed in spankings, but we also always believed in um, walking them through it. When we spanked them, it was a process. We just didn't spank them and leave them alone. We
Right.
spanked them and then sat them down and talked to them, and
Mm-hmm.
they knew that when we were all done with the process that they were still loved.
Love.
So
Yeah.
you
That's
spank
important.
and you love, you spank and you love. And we started very young with our kids communicating, and we communicated all through their lives. So when they reached junior high and high school, um, one of my favorite, and I feel so privileged that when my kids would come home, there were times where I worked, but most of the time I stayed home. And when they would come home, they would come right into the kitchen because that's usually where I was. And they would sit down and we would just talk. So I think that communication at a really young age is very important, and that you keep that communication going. So, and we had told the kids, you can talk to us about anything. So we never experienced, which it's I guess it's a miracle. We never experienced our kids not listening to us. I'm like, I know it's a miracle.
Can you just lay your hands on us, please?
In Jesus' name. I think it's a real gift that we just never had that problem. I mean, we had one of our kids was very, very strong-willed. And so we had to be, at a very young age, we had to be very consistent with him in discipline. And I remember he turned 4 one time, and I said something to him, and naturally he would immediately react. But he got it, and he listened to me. I looked at Bill, and I went, oh, I think it worked. I think all this persistence. With a strong-willed child, you have to be consistent and persistent, and you have to draw the lines at a young age, because when they get older, they will have practiced that growing up, and then when things are said to them, they can receive it. And as a parent, you kind of learn the art of communication with, especially a strong-willed child. Like 2 of my kids, I could not say, okay, it's time to go to bed. Oh my gosh, things would just fall apart. You know, I had to prepare them, like, okay, in 15 minutes, bed, you know, that kind of stuff. It's kind of an art to be a parent. And, you know, we just really depended on the Lord. I think that's what parents need to do, is just really continue to pray for wisdom on how to raise our kids, because each one of them is different.
You ever fight with Papa Bill and you said, we had discussion?
We had 2 disagreements in our marriage, and it was when we were early married, and he was right in both of them. I have to admit, he was right. So, I mean, you know, there are times we disagree, but we've never raised our voices at each other or really had any arguments. It's not our personality type to do that.
Okay.
I realize that some people, they do that, it's fine, it's great. If we do have disagreements, we are really quick to make it right, forgive, do all that. So, you know, I don't want to pressure people that do argue and stuff, but it's really not neither one of our personalities to ever do that. So I think.
So how do you stress your point?
Talk. I'm like, he'll say something. I said, well, I don't think that's the way it should. He goes, well, I think, you know.
Oh, wow. That calm. Have you seen that video that says, Linda, listen, Linda, listen. that boy towards the mom. Okay, so that's good. It's not that you're pressuring us not to be, you know, argumentative.
I'm not pressuring anybody, but you know, that's the way we do it. So.
And that sounds very good.
It works for us.
That sounds very honoring.
Yeah.